All right, another really good game on the slate, especially for fantasy purposes. We've got the Seattle Seahawks and the Miami Dolphins facing off in Miami. The Seattle Seahawks offense has been red hot, and their defense has been absolute trash. This should be arguably, I don't know why the over-under is lower. I think Vegas just doesn't trust the Miami Dolphins offense, but I think this will be one of the highest scoring, if not the highest scoring game on the week. Seahawks just slated to win this one by 6.5. I agree with that, but I do think the Dolphins offense will be able to put up some fight here. The Seahawks are allowing the second most points to opposing quarterbacks, whereas the Dolphins are doing pretty close to the same, allowing the fourth most. The Seahawks are the number one team in terms of points allowed for the wide receivers, whereas the Dolphins are 12th. Seahawks have been okay at stopping the run, but I don't think it's based on the merits of the defense. It's more so their offense has been scoring so many points that opposing teams cannot run the ball because they're trying to constantly catch up. They've both been okay against tight ends. We'll see if Jamal Adams is out this week, but I'm not afraid of starting Mike Gesicki at all this week. I mean, this is a week where you're starting your studs. You don't need me to convince you to start Metcalf, Lockett, or Wilson. If you do, you're playing the wrong game. The real question here is the running back. Chris Carson practiced today. Looks like he actually has a decent shot at playing this week. If Chris Carson is there, if he can get in a full practice on Friday, I'll play Chris Carson. If he's out, that's where it gets interesting. So Carlos Hyde is going to be the grinder, whereas Travis Homer is going to play on third downs. I mean, Travis Homer has already played a good number of third downs up to this point anyway. I just don't really see myself wanting to start either of these guys, even in a good matchup against the Dolphins. If you're up against it, if you had to pick between these guys, I'd probably go Carlos Hyde, but hopefully Chris Carson ends up playing and you don't have to make that choice. Greg Olson still seeing some red zone targets, but not getting enough volume for me to really trust him. Only throw him out there if you're desperate. We're not throwing anyone else out there, and we're not playing the Seahawks defense until they show us that they can do something. On the Dolphins side, Ryan Fitzpatrick is your stream of the week, a guy that should be out there on most of your waiver wires and is going to absolutely smash this week. In Miami, there's going to be a very high-scoring game. Ryan Fitzpatrick loves these shootouts. He loves to just be able to gun it. He'll probably throw 2 or 3 picks, but maybe he'll be able to throw up 4 or 5 touchdowns in this one. Absolutely love Fitzpatrick as a streamer. Myles Gaskin, I like him because he's seen a lot of targets out of the backfield. He had like 73% of the snaps last week as well. Not getting any of the goal line work. That's all Jordan Howard, so that's a bit of the bummer there. But if you're looking for a decent running back 2 or flex play, I think Gaskin gives that to you. Devonte Parker is a locked and loaded wide receiver this week. And Preston Williams, I'm also comfortable with because, again, as we mentioned, the Seahawks are giving up the most points to fantasy receivers on the season. So fire up Parker and Williams. Also, I think you can fire up Gesicki in this one. He's been up and down thus far, but I think this will be a good game for him to rebound. Hopefully he can score a couple touchdowns in this one. Isaiah Ford, if you're in a desperate situation, I could see you throwing him out there, but Parker and Williams being the number 1 and 2 guys here, not sure how much work he's going to get here. Maybe in like a GPP play in DFS, that might be a name you throw out there if you're trying to be contrarian. He's going to be really cheap and really easy to acquire in season-long leagues, but I just don't trust him. Not throwing Howard out there for his two goal line carries to potentially snake another touchdown away from Myles Gaskin, but this running offense really is Gaskin or bust at this point. Seahawks, as I said, should win this one pretty decisively, but looking for this game to be a very high-scoring affair. I got the Seahawks winning this one 35 to the Dolphins 31.